Just waiting on more people to arrive inside the stream before I get started. So if you're watching, just hang tight before we start this editing session. Takes a while for a few people to get in because I stream on random days. I need to stop that, but it's what I do, just random. All right, just waiting on some more people to hop in here. Everyone that just joined, just give me a second before I get started because in this session, I'm going to actually be teaching you guys my little tips and tricks on how to edit. So want to make sure I got enough people in here before we get started. Yeah. I do want to know if y'all can hear me clear or not. Let me know. Or should I raise the volume to the microphone? Probably should have had some music going on, but I'll figure that out later. All right. Just waiting on some more people. So a lot of these photos in here are taken on all of these photos are taken on the Pixel 8 Pro. I actually went out today to go do some more shooting of some photos so I can have something to play with and edit up here. So as I say, I'm going to wait for more people to join before I start editing. I want to make sure everyone gets the gist of everything. But before all of that, me and my wife, we had went to Walmart today to go get some more Similac for our baby. And that Similac is expensive, man. I swear. Like it's expensive to have kids, but it's more expensive like getting formula for kids for babies. That's more expensive. But we ended up going to Walmart and Walmart ended up like shutting down on Black Friday. I don't know what happened in there, but the ambulance and the fire trucks is out there. So we ended up having to go to like Target and stuff. So that's where we ended up going. Didn't really care, but it is what it is. So if there's anybody in here, can you just let me know if the mic is working? I swear sometimes I pick the wrong days to go live. So just apologize. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, all right. I got what's up, bro? What's up? What's up? Long time for sure, Mark. Long time, bro. I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in before I start editing or whatever. But you know, any questions you have about anything, bro, just hit me up or whatever. It's been a long time. And I be doing these streams so random. They just random streams every single time that I do these things. I gotta start planning these things so people can know that I'm gonna do these. But I feel like the direction I want to move forward as far as my streams, I think I actually want to do mobile editing, like literally edit photos for you guys. A lot of you love my images that come out of my, my pixels or any phone that I actually shoot with. And a lot of you be wanting to know my editing techniques. So I figure I could do streams like this and chat it with y'all, show y'all what I do so you can kind of get a glance of like where to start from and where to go. So It's going to be the new thing that I do. It's going to be the new thing that I do. Just waiting on a few more people before I get started. But to be honest with you, I might just start without anybody being in here because they can just catch the restream. I don't want to waste nobody's time. And plus, I told my wife it'd be about an hour, and I'm already 21 minutes in, and this stream hasn't even been that long. All right, so what I did today, like I said earlier, is that I don't even need these buds. Let me get these buds out of my ear. So what I did is I went out and shot. Uh, make sure my mic is still good too. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yo, yeah. All right, we still Gucci. We still Gucci. Okay. All right, so let's get started with this. So I went out today and decided to go do some more shooting with the Pixel 8 Pro so I can bring back some fresh photos to edit up here straight from scratch. Oh, loud and clear, good. That's what I need to know. All right. So these ones up here are some images that I already edit. Now I'm going to let you guys know that with shooting with the Pixel, it's a little bit the raw files are dope. They're good. You know what I'm saying? Like they're really good. The only thing that I be having issues with is that I forget to be super still when I'm shooting my raw files, with the Pixel. I forget to be super still. So this is an image that I've edited right here. So sometimes when you move, you will lose focus real quick, and then your image wouldn't be as sharp when you're ready to go edit and stuff like that. So you got to be careful when you're shooting with the Pixel. The raw files it just takes longer to process. So let's go ahead and all right, let's see. I'm going to show you before and after. So oh yeah. Forgot this one. I shot it to Photoshop, so therefore I don't have the original in Lightroom. So that's cool. That's cool. I don't even know if the history. Yeah, so you don't even have the history up there. So when I do edit, I like to bounce back and forth between Lightroom and whatever. But we're not gonna pick out of these images right here because these are pretty much edit. I've been playing around with these and the colors and trying to find something that vibes with me or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if I was feeling these photos. So sometimes I just give up. So let's go find an image. Let's go find an image. I like having subjects. So let's use this shot right here. Let me see how this came out. All right. So here's a shot that I shot with the wide angle camera on the Pixel 8 Pro in RAW mode. And of course, it's dull. It doesn't have any colors. I mean, well, it's not really super dull, but some of you may like it just the way it is. But this right here don't fit my style. So I'm definitely gonna like spice this picture up some a little bit. So I have a preset pack that I'm going to end up selling real soon. As soon as I figure this out, I'm still like working around with these presets and stuff like that as well. But I like to go through my presets first. Normally, I don't really know how I want to tackle a photo straight off the back, like these photos right here off the back. But I do have like a general rule of what I like to start off with. And I know I like to really make the subject pop. So that would be the phone and the hand area over here. But let's just go through some of these presets and see if any of them make sense for me to start off with. See, I'm kind of liking this one, but it's a little warm. And I don't know why this thing is going slow on my Mac. These presets loading up slow. But to be honest with you, I don't really like Lightroom too much because it's slower, much slower than Photoshop for some reason. I don't really know. And it could be the stream also slowing this thing down. But yeah, Lightroom is all right. It's all right. It's not the best. But I think I found one. I think I like Fire and Ice so far. I know it ain't gonna be a horror movie. I'm gonna just skip past horror movie because that's my grain look, my grainy look. That's for certain here. So Vibe It Up is normally a good one. Sunny Day is normally a good one. Let's see what that looking like. Nope, too sunny. And I do love soft touch as well. Soft touch. I'm feeling soft touch. Let's go with the Samsung colors. Probably not. I never used Samsung colors, but I made it. I don't even know why I made that one. And Google Pixel. Let's see what that looking like. Google Pixel is always a good base for me. And Apple, my Apple one is just be too warm for a lot of photos. So we're just gonna leave that alone. Let's go with soft touch because I wanna add some character to that. So we're gonna start off soft touch. All right. Now we're gonna go up in here and we're gonna make some more adjustments or whatever like that because I like to normally when I pick my preset, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I normally just dart this thing straight to Photoshop. I'll go ahead and hit this and go right into Photoshop. But for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, even though I just opened up Photoshop and it's probably gonna take forever because I don't know what's going on with my Mac right now with this streaming, it's slowing down. But I normally send it to Photoshop and then I do all my touch up in Photoshop because Photoshop is a lot faster than Lightroom and it gives me a little bit more control over the photo. So while this thing is trying to contemplate where's one, I'm going ahead and cancel that, open up Photoshop. So the next thing I want to do is bring the subject out, and that's my hand and the phone. So I'm going to go here to my mask layer over here. And then I'm going to select, I'm going to do subject first, and I'm going to see if the AI is going to be able to pick the right subject. So it should pick, it might pick my phone, which is cool. I'm fine with that. So it's working. All right, AI is done. And I'm going to see, so it picked my hand. So that's cool. So I'm going to brighten it up. So there we go. We don't want it too bright where it's unrealistic. So we're going to bring exposure up just a little teeny bit there. Yes, perfect. Now, after this, I'm still going to do a lot more with all of this area right here, but I just want to get that mask right there started. So the next thing I want to do is that I really want to make it pop. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go down to the lens blur. Is a new feature if you actually pay for Lightroom, which I do. So I don't want all this. Stop all that. All right. So I'm going to apply the blur. And I'm going to see how well it does. So it may apply it good. It may apply it bad, but we can make adjustments and everything like that. What's up, King? Welcome to the stream, bro. Doing some photo editing, man. So we're going to let the AI stuff. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all be tripping about like Google Pixel, like taking forever with AI stuff. Look at this. I'm on this is my M1 Mac. Yeah, this is my M1 Mac, 16 gigabytes. And look how long it's taking. And I got the M2 Pro in my other room or whatever. That's in the bedroom. That's the one where I do a lot more editing. But I'm in the studio right now. I had to swap my Macs because my wife be like, "Yeah, you be in the studio too long, too much, and all that stuff like that." So look, I'm still waiting on this to. Okay, so therefore it applied the blur. It looks horrible, like horrible. There's no roll off. There's no nothing. And then under here, you can see that it just kind of like really made that bad. So there's two things you can do. You can go in here and you can fine tune it by going here, visualizing it, waiting. And there it goes. And then I can refine it by using the refine tools in here to do this. Now you can't do this in Lightroom Mobile, unfortunately. So because we can't do this in Lightroom Mobile, I'm not even going to touch this feature as far as refining it because you can't do it in there. And most of you are using Lightroom in the first place. And that means you're probably either paying for it or you got the free version. So that means you don't even have the lens blur. But I'm just going to bring the blur down instead of like completely removing it and see if it will do better. And it didn't do better down here by my fist or my palm. Still kind of chunky over here. But to be honest with you, nah, we're just gonna take that off, guys. We're just gonna take that off. I don't feel like fine tuning it because I want to make sure. All right, so let's go ahead and mess with some colors now. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to my colors, which is over here. Actually, I'm gonna go back with the light real quick. I want to mess around with my curves. So rule of thumb when you're messing with curves, if you don't know about curves, you always want to make sure that you either do an S. It's always good to like do an S curve when you do curves. So this would be like this, and then you just kind of just make it an S, a slight S, and you bring this here like this, and then you bring that over. I mean, sorry, up here like that. This is kind of like the rule of this, but this is not really working too well with this photo. Sorry. I was on the wrong part, first of all. Sorry. Click, click, click. Where is it at? Why is it not clicking? There we go. Wait. There we go. Yes. All right. That's embarrassing when you're trying to show something and then it's not working right. All right, hold on. All right, so reset that. All right. All right, so we're gonna click, bring that down. And this normally opts for like a creative photo. So I'd like to try to make it S first and see what happens. And then if it, kind of pops in a way I don't like it, then I undo it or I make prior adjustments, whatever like that. And S normally lifts up the shadows to bring in some like it just brings in some how can I say it softens the image. It softens the image. It lifts up the shadows and softens it a little bit, give you like this, soft look, dreamy look or whatever like that. But we're not doing that today. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this here. And we're gonna bring this here. I want some darks in there. This is what I want there. Then I'm actually fine with this contrast right here that we do have. So I'm not gonna mess with that. All right, so next thing I like to do is go in and mess with my colors. And I'm going to bring down the oranges a little bit because they're just too much. I hate super warm colors if the photo doesn't seem like it need to. And then we're gonna check on the blues and the skies. So what I like to do is just bring it totally up, totally down, so I can see what is actually being affected and how much. And that's about where I want those blues at, right there. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to do is going to add my details. My thing is I like to just with the pixel, I learned the sweet spot is like 70 for most of their sharpening. So I just kind of go there first and then I zoom in on the subject and make sure it ain't like too sharpened. And as I can see right here, it seems to be perfect. So have no problems with that. So I'm gonna keep that at 70. And then I'm going to go in, and my favorite part of doing these photos is when I'm messing with the mask layers. So we're going to go back to that mask that we had on me. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring down the blacks a little bit because my hoodie, I want that kind of dark a little bit. And hold on, sorry. You want to get your Band-Aid tool and get this stuff that you want out of your photo real quick. So I hate doing this under Photoshop. I mean, under Lightroom, I normally do this under Photoshop because Photoshop is like so much better, like doing this. And as you can see, Lightroom is extremely slow. Their AI is just slow in Lightroom. I swear it's so slow. On the phone too, on my iPad as well. It's just slow. So, all right, that's all I want to get out there. All right, so next I'm gonna make another mask, and I'm going to go to linear gradient, which is one of my favorite things I like to do. I'm gonna select this area right here. I'm gonna make this really, really huge. And I'm going to turn it because I want the light to come from this direction over here as if sunlight is hitting this way. Then I'm going to bring the exposure up a lot because I want it to be like it's shining. So there it is right there. And then I either could go blue or I can go warm. So it depends on the photos. I swap back and forth to see what pops more. I'm feeling like if I go warm, and I'm gonna do warm for right now, and I'm gonna show you, what I would do to offset that so it could seem like the light is really popping over here. So I'll pick another gradient and I'll go here. And then on this side over here, since the light is hitting over there, I will make this side slightly darker. So I will bring the exposure slightly down over here. But I will still make it warm because you want it kind of to be realistic, like it's warm outside. So I'll bring that up a little bit more there. And then also like the light to hit the subject itself. So I'll bring in another one. And this time I'm going to go to radical one. And I like to bring that straight down the middle, kind of sometimes down the whole entire frame here, just like this. And then I'll bring the exposure up. So it looks like it's hitting that subject right there like that. And then I'm going to change it warm, just like everything else. All right. So then I'm gonna go make another layer. It's a lot of layering. This is pretty much what is the gist of everything. So go back to the sky now. Keep in mind everything that I'm doing right now, you can do in Lightroom Mobile on the phone, which I do the same thing on the phone. Only thing that you can't do is individually select like a certain subject and everything. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about or whatever. So once it's slow AI finish selecting the sky, Yeah, there we go. And then we're gonna bring down the highlights a little bit in the sky. I want to see if there's any clouds. There's not really any clouds besides over there to the right. So don't need to bring my highlights too far down because sometimes I like to get that cloud detail back, which is it's pretty much in there, but it wasn't any clouds. So also with the sky, you can, change the color of the sky, make it extra blue. You can go, bright orange or whatever like that, yellow, iPhone colors. And you can go green and you can go magenta, or you can come down here and you can just go down the color wheel and just choose any different colors that you feel like you want your sky to be. So in this situation, I just wanted to be a little bit more blue, just slightly, not too much. All right. And all right, that's good there. Then I'm going to go back to another mask layer. Now, remember I told you that you can't just select like certain things because I could select objects in here. So I'm going to hit object. And because I'm on a computer, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just select the phone itself. You can be sloppy as I don't know what that. Yeah, I will do a good job at cutting it out and finding just the phone itself. So once it do that, it's supposed to turn red, but it's not turning red on me because this thing is thinking slow. So here it is, brighten up the phone. Here it is, darkening the phone. Boom, there you go. So just remember, take your sliders, always just raise them to the top, raise them to the bottom. All right, so I'm just gonna brighten up the phone just a little bit, not too much. That's why I wanted to highlight it. And I want to add some more contrast back. You can see the pixel right there, which means that I took this with the pixel or whatever. See the pixel right there. All right, so then I'm gonna go back because I'm not really satisfied with these colors. I'm really not. So I'm gonna go back to the color profile, and I was going to go over here to color. And I'm gonna grade a little bit. I'm gonna just see. I'm gonna play around with some of the shadows and just see if I can find something that I like. Because I'm really not liking these colors right now with this photo. I feel like I want this thing to be darker or something. So let's go here. I like to go to my blues first because I really don't like super warm photos. And I actually like magenta too as well. So my go-to colors is blues and magentas when it comes to the color grading and stuff like that first. Uh, all right. All right, let's go down. See what the midtones looking like. Not too much magenta up in there. I think I'm gonna make my midtones yellow, just slight low, slight. All right. I'm a little bit more satisfied with the color, but I feel like this can pop more. And that's where the Lensberg comes in at sometimes. But this was a wide angle shot of the phone. So let's see. I'm gonna go back to my lighting, and I'm gonna make some more adjustments here. Actually, I know what adjustment I'm gonna make. Going back to my layer mask, I'm gonna make an adjustment under my hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and create the lunar gradient. What up, Don? What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Just doing some photo editing. All right, go ahead and flip that. And I'm going to bring that up here. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit because you want it to kind of like fade in. So there we go. Gosh, this is awfully slow. I might have to try to do this stream next time on my M2 Pro and see if that makes a difference because this crap right here is just way too slow. All right. I'm liking it now for sure. Let me change it. I'm going to change the color temperature to match everything else. And actually, I'm probably going to bring the light back over here on this gradient right here instead and see what happens with that. Yeah. Okay. And all right, I'm going to turn it a little bit. Not that way. Staying retarded. All right, that way. All right. So now we got to bring you down because now you're way too bright on the phone. I don't know if this stream is if it's slow for you or not, but man, it is really slow for me over here on this end. Jeez. It seems like the more I add to it, the longer that it takes. And it probably there we go. Jeez. It's probably because I'm recording or streaming right now, so it's playing a lot with it. And there it goes. It's back. Jeez. All right. So I'm gonna turn that off. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna turn that off just for right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a new one because that's killing me right now. All right. All right, here we go. So I'm adding that linear gradient to brighten this side up over here because I was more satisfied with it lit up over here and darker at the bottom. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm gonna make sure I make it warm. And I don't want it too bright, but I can't tell if this thing is about to. All right, there we go. All right. So I'm pretty much happy with this, besides like probably my lens blur. That would be the only last thing that I would do. And I would go into like fine details of making sure that my lens blur is lined up correctly, because here is not doing a good job of cutting out my hand down here and around here. I guess my hand and everything else is like look like the grass. I guess that's the problem when you're dealing with AIs, because AIs are never perfect. But this is why it's good to learn how to do some of this stuff manually, so you can, go back and fix your image. So I'm gonna put that blur back in, and I'm gonna revisit this picture later, and I'll post it to social media. I'm gonna actually come back and put this under Photoshop and actually finish this up or whatever, because like I say, Photoshop gives me more control over the photos to manipulate, the lighting, the coloring, and everything else that I like to do and stuff like that, because it's better with subjects. It's just so much better with subjects. So um let's get that blur in there. All right, well, that load up and do what that do. Let's go grab another photo. Let's grab something. uh, I did. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing a lot of these shots, to be honest with you. I kind of like shot and just walked away with a lot of these shots. So what you see, what you're getting is like the raw of me looking at it for the first time too. So I don't even know how they came out. So this is my DJ Osmos Pocket 3. No, gimbal, mobile gimbal 3, something like that. All right, whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and find our starting preset from here. You know what? Let's just edit this one without a preset, so you can get the gist of like, just get the gist of editing without it, because presets are always the best cheat code ever to edit images. So just keep that in mind. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you create a if you create a preset, there's nothing wrong with you using a preset. And I encourage anybody to always use your presets, because they're always the best starting points. So when I'm sitting here looking at it now, I will have to manually color grade this photo if I want to color grade it, which I'm not going to do that right now, because that's just too much time consuming to be doing this on a stream color grading. But let's just go straight into the editing. So I'm just going to start with this, because I'm going to go with the gradients first, or my mask layers. So let's go ahead and, matter of fact, I picked the wrong mask. I'm just going to light the subject up itself. So I'm going to go here and get my radical. All right, so I'm going to add the light right here to brighten up the subject, because I want it to seem like light is hitting the subject from here. Actually, let's do it from the side. Let's do that. So it's like I use the flash, and the flash hit right from over here. And we're going to go ahead and bring that light up really, really bright, not too bright. And I don't want it from that side now. I think I want it from this side. I think I want it from this side. Yeah, I think I want it from this side. So we're going to do it from this side. And again, I like to change the color to like a warm tone or a blue tone. This situation is going to be a little bit blue. I'm going to bring the highlights down a little bit. Get the sky in the back. And in fact, I'm going to hit it with another light. So we're going to do the same exact thing, but I'm gonna make this light a little bit thinner on the subject. I'm bringing it in a little bit more. Boom, there. Bring it up. Not too much. Not too much. Not too much. Not too much. All right. Bring those whites down. Bring those shadows up slightly. There we go. And then I'm gonna put a light right here at the bottom as well. So we're gonna grab another one and we're gonna drop that light down here. And we got to make sure that it kind of matches the light that we already have up there, so we can't make it too bright. How much do we want it to spread? Let me make it a lot bigger so I can have it spread naturally right there. Yeah, about right there. All right, so we're gonna bring that up. There we go. Bring the whites down slightly. And we're gonna bring a little bit of warm tone here. There we go. Get that golden hour type of lighting. All right. And now we're going to go back to our layer and we're going to select the sky. And we're going to try to bring in a little bit more details back in from the sky. Like I say, I love the sky. So we're going to sit here and wait for the AI to finish again. You know, AI is slow these days on everything, not just pixels. So you ain't going to be coming at my pixels. No, I'm just playing. I really don't care how y'all feel about pixels. You already know that. But AI is kind of slow on a lot of things right now. So, all right. So now that that's there, we're going to go ahead and just bring down highlights, see what details are in the sky. And there's pretty good details in the sky. And I'm going to go ahead and put it about right. Nah, I'm going to have to put it right here because I'm losing my light right here. So what I'm going to do is something that I normally don't want to do, but I'm going to have to because, you know, I didn't want to do this because of the whole, you can't do this. Well, theoretically, yes, you can. You can select your subject in Lightroom Mobile. So yes. So it's going to, hopefully it selects the right subject. Like I say, the AI, you're dependent on it. It should select the thing that's in focus or closer to the frame anyway. So we're going to see what happens when it's selected. Just gotta wait for this slow AI stuff again. And I'm just gonna brighten up the gimbal itself. Okay, there we go. All right, perfect. All right, so we did select the right subject, but I brightened up that gimbal way too much. All right, so all right, sorry. I had to concentrate. Got to get this thing precise. All right, there we go. All right, that's all I can do with the. That's as far as I can really brighten it up because as you can see, that I'm clipping the whites in it. I don't, yeah, this raw file right here, it might not be like the best with data right now because it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So if you notice right here, it's picking that up. It's clipping that. And there's a fix for this, which is simple. Just you can just get the brush and go over it, get rid of it. But I don't know how good this AI is in Lightroom. I really don't. Yeah, I see. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. I don't like Lightroom. I do not like Lightroom editing. I like Lightroom Lux. I like using the presets and then going into Photoshop. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and back out of that. I'm gonna go back to my mask layer. All right, where's my layer? Thing took forever to pop up. Come on now, stop being so slow. All right. So this is our subject. I'm gonna go back to the subject and I'm gonna have to bring that back down. Let's try 15. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try that. Let's try that instead. Yeah, that's a little bit more safer. All right. Let's go back. All right. So then I'm going to add some more shadows over here because I want this side over here lit up. Like I say, I like to put shadows on one side. Some people don't like that, but it's just a unique look that I like to do in a lot of my photos to kind of give it like that flash look or whatever. So that depends on you if you want that dramatic look or not. it really depends on you. Some people just want like the whole image, just all in one color and focus and stuff like that. But as a photographer and as a person who love editing, you're going to come up with a style. You're going to come up with your own creativity of how you want your images to look, and then people are going to come to you for that. That's what they're going to come to you for, because they like your style and that's what you give them. So this is kind of like Delvon's style. So y'all gotta make sure y'all understand that all photographers are not equal. Like, everyone has a different style of how they like to shoot and how they like to edit photos. So um that's why I say photography is like the biggest subjective thing that you can really talk about. Nobody can argue about what's wrong and what's right in a photo. But I mean, obviously, you can look at some things that are bad in a photo and just be like, yeah, that's just bad, like crush shadows and stuff like that. But if you're doing it in a unique way, then it's not bad. So that's why I say it's like it's always subjective, man. Subjective. So um, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this junk down, and I'm gonna see what happens first. And I'm going to bring the color in too as well. Yeah, so darker on that side and better on this side over here, but I'm gonna add a little bit more light over here. I really don't like this raw file that I'm editing right now on this pixel. This one just seems to be not that great right now. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I normally get way better raw files than this, but for some reason, like, the exposure and everything on this photo was like so perfect. I don't understand why the highlights are clipping the way they are. So I can't wait to move on from this photo in a second. But I'm just gonna go ahead and continue on with this or whatever, because it's really about just showing you some of my techniques in this stream right now, showing you what I do so you can have a better understanding. Because a lot of you probably come in here and just use these sliders over the side and call it a day, but you can really kind of like really make your photos a little bit more unique if you play around with some of the light. So that's what I'm trying to teach you today. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this over here, and I'm gonna slightly do it because, like I said, when I bring the exposure up, for some reason the sky just kind of like just goes a whole different direction. I don't mind it being blown out right here because it's okay. It looks like there was just like no clouds over there, but I am going to bring down the whites just slightly right there. And again, and after I do with that, I'm done with that. So just say I'm done, and then I go to my sharpening again with the pixel raw files. If you're a pixel shooter, try 70. Start at 70 and work your way down. Always make sure you zoom in on the subject where you focus at to make sure it ain't like artificial looking sharpening. And then sometimes I do come in here to my effects tab and I do add some clarity. I never go past 10. I do like 8 at max. But if I gotta, 10 at max, but 8 is like the spot that I could go to first. And then I check it and I come back in. And then I'm going to show you another technique too that I do when it comes to people, because I'm a people photographer. So I'm gonna go ahead and back out of this right here. And I'm just going to go up to the one person that I do have up here right now currently at the moment. Yeah, I was about to go down. So I'm going to show you something that I do as far as like the skin that I do in Lightroom and Photoshop or whatever. So in Lightroom, and it's better if you're using Lightroom on the PC or you're using Lightroom, or Photoshop. You could, because you can do, in fact, let's go ahead and see if I can possibly get Photoshop open real quick. Because it seems like this stream is really kind of like pushing this M1 chip to the max. People say these things are like crazy good. They're good, but they do have limits, and it seems like I'm getting there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something too that y'all probably don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and open this in Photoshop. Hopefully it opens up Photoshop pretty fast since it's open. So while we wait for this to load up, I hope everybody's joining the stream. I'm sorry for the slowness and the choppiness or whatever like that. I didn't know it was going to be like this. Generative AI now in Photoshop. Try later. No, 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 no. All right, look. I know y'all like, dang, he even have Photoshop. Okay, look, I don't be in the studio like that editing no more. I literally be in the other room, so I barely be on Photoshop in here. And plus, like, Adobe is trash because with my subscription, sorry, I only could be on Photoshop on 2 devices. So that's my MacBook or my Mac Minis. And I got 2 Mac Minis and a MacBook. So it makes me sign out of one and sign into the other one, which really, really sucks. All right. So listen. So now we're under Photoshop, the place I really want to be at. All right. So things seem like it's moving a lot faster up here too. All right. So you can go here to filter and you can go to camera raw. And when you go to camera raw, it's going to open up. What? Nope. I take that back. It's still slow. It's definitely the stream. Everything that we were doing in Lightroom is pretty much right here. Get started. All right. Everything that we did in Lightroom is pretty much right here. The same stuff. Everything here, the curves, the blur, the background, all the details, everything is still right here. So this is why I prefer to just use, sorry, I hit the microphone. This is why I prefer to just use Photoshop, because it has everything that Lightroom has, plus it has the extra area where you can actually manipulate your photos a lot better and edit them how you want. So anyways, let me just show you my skin trick real quick that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and just like get this pimple off her face first. So click on that, the healing brush. Gonna make it slightly smaller, smaller than that, it's bigger than that. All right, that's good. And then I'm gonna click it and it's gonna go away. And yeah, I'm gonna click some other ones. Like I say, normally this process is like 10 times faster, but it actually it is faster right now anyways than Lightroom. Lightroom would just be trying to register it and stuff like that. So this is cool. This is cool. So I'm going to go ahead back there now and I'm going to show you the skin trick. So if you're editing a person or yourself or anything and you're using, not the mobile version because they don't have it for the mobile version yet. I mean, what they technically do. So if you're on the mobile version, what you would do is you will actually go to your layer mask. You would select the subject. Okay. And it's going to select like the whole person. This is on mobile. Okay. It's going to select the whole entire person. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down and you're going to go to your effects and you're going to bring the texture up. Down to negative. So you're going to bring it to about like negative. I like to start off at like negative 25 and I don't go past 35. So it depends on the person's skin and how bad their skin is. So you do that and then you can actually clean up their skin and make their skin pretty smooth. But what it does is going to smooth out the whole entire image. That's what's happening because you can't separate her skin from, everything else. You got to select the whole subject. That's why I hate it on mobile. So to offset that, I just bring back some clarity. And like I said, I don't go back 10. And I bring back some clarity back into it because it smooths it out and then it brings back the clarity. And then you got to go bring back your sharpening as well. So you go here to your sharpening to bring back that. So you can still have that smooth skin and then have some sharpening. Like I say, when you go up to sharpening, I like to start at 70 and blah, 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 blah. And then you just zoom in on your subject. You make sure it ain't too sharp, too fake. All right. So that's that, right? So let me go ahead and remove this layer right quick. And I'm going to show you the easier way to do it if you're using the computer, which is way better. So you're going to go back to your mask, create that mask. Then you're going to go to select people. This is the cool thing. So it's going to find her face. Now, I will say that Photoshop is sometimes sucks at finding the face if they're sideways. So it's not good as Google Pixels. For some reason in Google Photos, man, it will find baby pictures of a person that's grown today, which is insanely crazy. Adobe can't even see the side of your face and think it's not a face. So Adobe need to work with Google because whatever Google got going on, they got a good thing going on because Google Photos can find some very, very old pictures of people. So as you can see, this AI is taking forever to find her. So I think it'd be trying to look for eyes or something. I'm not sure how this thing works, but once it find her, it's going to allow me to select any part of her body. So I can select like the eyes, the pupils, the iris. I can select the lips. I can select the clothing. I can select the hair, or I can select all the skin. As you can see right here. So the mask separates everything right here. As you can see, you see how everything's being selected. So teeth, hair, clothes right here. Then you got your lips, your iris, and your pupil. And yeah, everything. Eyebrows, everything, just everything. So I'm just going to select facial skin, body skin. Now, you're going to do that same exact process that I just showed you, same exact process, but this time you're only targeting just the skin, which makes it more effective than the last time, because last time it was like the whole entire body. So now we're just smoothing out just the skin by itself. And then again, you can bring up a little bit of the clarity if you want and call it a day. And now you got smooth skin on your subject, and you don't have to worry about, making everything else untexturized. So yes. So then you're gonna go ahead and hit. I don't know why I left out of left out of here, because I wanted to show you some more adjustments that you can make. So I do have some LUTs that I created up here on Photoshop as well. I've been doing this for about 20 years now. So I have created my own kind of like LUTs up here that I like. So I like to go through these as well. And remember, you can port your presets that you have in Lightroom over to Photoshop as well and do the same exact thing. Now, I haven't found a way to batch it. So you have to do like each one individually. So, I don't like doing that. It's whatever. But sometimes you just have to do that. All right. So then you're going to go here, and I don't have my presets in here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So my presets are gone. I meant to say something. Every single time that Photoshop gets an update, your LUTs that you created, you have to put them back in here. It's really a drop and drag. It's really easy to get them in there. It's just a drop and drag, but it's very annoying because it overwrites all the files and put all the original files back in place. So all these files that you see over here on the side, all the original files, these normally be completely deleted, and then it'd be Delvon Luck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that, right? So I had an update recently, as you can see when I opened the Photoshop, it was asking about all this AI stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I don't have any lucks. So we're just going to leave that alone for right now. But we are going to go back into here, Camera Raw, which is AKA Lightroom. So everything that I do in here is going to be what you can do in Lightroom. So I'm going to stick to this area right here, just because the simple fact that, again, some of you are like editing in Lightroom and not Photoshop because you're probably not paying for it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go. And I like that I had a lot more control over here. Let's go with the background. So I'm going to go ahead and select the background. And again, if you're in Lightroom Mobile, you can select the background. You have to select the subject and then you invert it. And then what it does, it selects the background for you. So it says I need to add brush. Now you do have a brush in there as well. So if sometimes they don't select certain parts of the background, you can get the brush tool and then you can brush in there. Now I'm not going to try to brush this perfect because like I say, for the sake of this video, I want to make sure that y'all just kind of get the general idea of what I'm doing. So even if it gets on her, I don't care right now. Okay. So we're going to select the background, and I'm going to show you how you can just change the different colors of your background. You can do this with outside shots as well. I only suggest that you use warm or cooler colors, or maybe magentas and stuff like that. Or you can go with like a green if you're trying to be really unique and stuff like that. Depends on your photo. But this is an easy way to change the color of your backdrop right here like this. And you can also select the colors from here, and you can just play around with the different colors. I just wanted to show you this or whatever, so you can find something that like kind of like works for you. Or you can just bring down, the background in general if you just don't want it back there for some reason. Or you can brighten it up. Just doesn't matter. You can do whatever. So it's it's Photoshop. You can do whatever you think of, you can kind of do back here or whatever like that. So just wanted to show you that. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn this layer off because I don't really care to for all that or whatever. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead back to my mask, and then I'm gonna play with light again. So when I use the flash on this right here, the light kind of hit from this side over here. So this is where I will put my light at. Okay. So y'all already know, like I told you before, my technique is always having light hit from a side for the subject. And that's what I always tackle. It's one of the things that I do. Now, keep in mind, normally I would throw a luck up here, but again, I wanted to start off with no luck for this or whatever. And I do have some in here. They're probably not in here. Let's see. Yeah, see, all of this right here is all Photoshop stuff again. So my personal LUTs and everything like that are gone once again. So I hate every time Adobe updates, it overwrites your stuff. It's so annoying. So I got the light hitting from over here. I'm gonna select it, Gonna pick a color. I'm gonna try warm. Gonna try blues. I like blues when it comes to shooting in my backdrop. So blues and like more like magenta. I'm more, favorite towards that or whatever. So I'm gonna select that, and then I'm gonna actually put more contrast on this subject too as well. So I'm gonna select the subject, like I told you that you can do, and I'm just gonna just slap some more contrast on her because I do want, a darker look. And I'm gonna bring down the highlight slightly a little bit because we're gonna be using pretty much the light that we're gonna kind of control for that. And that's pretty much about it. What I'm gonna do with that. All right, so I'm gonna go back over here and pick linear gradient again. And this side over here, I'm gonna make it a little darker. But before we do that, I'm going to tackle this side up here, just kind of like this general area up here. And I'm gonna like kind of like make this kind of like a different color. So I'm gonna go with the warm tone. Now it's too much. It's too much because it's tackling on her too much. But let me see if I phase it. Nope. So we're not gonna use the warm tone there, but I am going to keep that gradient there. I'm just gonna go ahead and slightly darken it first and see how it look. Or I'm gonna bring it up. And actually I like it brought up. So in this situation, it looks like the darkening part that I'm going to be doing is not going to exist besides being below her. So I'm going to go ahead and pick linear gradient one more time. And this time I'm just do the lower half and have the light fade off to the top. Yeah, that's better. So all the light is hitting from the top there. All right. So just to show you a little bit, if you was to color grade, right? I'm not gonna go deep into it, but I just kind of want to show you. It's very simple, not simple, but it's simple. Like once you learn it, so you have your midtones, you have your shadows, and you have your highlights. It's that simple, right? You pick your colors, right? The easiest way to do this is to kind of like know where you want to kind of go towards. Like, do you want this photo to be more dark and sinister? You want to be colorful? You want to be vivid? You want to be bright? You just got to kind of think like right there, at, like how you want to make the photo. But go warms and blues first. Go warms and blues first, and then magentas and greens. That's kind of like where I like to start at. Warms with each one. You warm that up, and you're like, and then you go to your highlights and you warm the highlights up. And then you make a choice, like, okay, and you see what happens. And if you like it, you hold it. Then you go back and you do the next one. You like it, you hold it. So I actually like the shadows a little bit up in the orange. So now you want to offset that color with a different color. You don't want to use like um another orange or yellow. You don't want to go back to the warm tones. You want to bring the other color down somewhere. So now you can grab your wheel and you can just spin around it and see what comes. And you can see greens are just trash. So blues are okay. Your magentas are not looking good as far as your highlights here. So normally I'm just gonna go ahead and keep those back right there. And then I'm gonna go back and do my midtones and I'm gonna do the same thing. You're gonna go around. I'm actually liking the greens a little bit, but not too strong. I'm actually liking, I found something that I like. I actually found something that I like. I'm liking this look right here a little bit. Just slightly there. So, and yeah. All right. There a little bit. Jeez. So this is why I don't want to color grade because this takes a long time. So once you find that look you want, you can make it stronger, you can make it less dominant, and then you got to do your blending. And it's just so much to this that you're gonna have to, learn and you're gonna have to balance it and figure it out and stuff like that. So I'm really feeling this right here, actually. Yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty much how you would kind of go into the color grading part of your photo if you want to like learn how to color grade a little bit and stuff like that. So also another cool thing that you can do in Photoshop that I'm going to show you real quick. I'm gonna just back out of there real quick. I'm trying to cram so much into this stream. I should just kind of like not do that next time. For real. I should just kind of hyper focus doing something or whatever first and then allowing you, because all right, so it's going to give me my image once it loads. Gonna give me that. Yes. So there's my new image that I got. So what you can do is that you can make a copy of your image. I like to edit destructively. That's what I like. That's what they call it. Because I like to edit on the image itself and not like on a blank layer. So you're gonna pick the dodge tool right here, and you can actually bring in highlights in areas where you want to make highlights at, but you want to make sure you bring like the exposure down a little bit, a lot, so you can kind of like paint them in. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be dramatic so you can see the dramatic effect of it. Okay, so I'm gonna actually be a lot dramatic with these highlights. So you got to think about areas where highlights would be at and where they would make sense on a subject or a person, or really a person. Okay. So like I said, I'm doing this for dramatic effect so you can kind of get the gist of it. And picking where your highlights go can be really easy. Normally you want them on the cheekbones, you want them on the chin, maybe the neck if the neck is slightly exposed, maybe the chest if the chest is exposed a little bit, on the arms. Here, there shouldn't be any highlights over here. So I'm gonna leave those alone. And then I'm gonna turn it on and off. And then sometimes you want highlights up here. And there's a lot of different places you can do this. I'm just kind of giving you a general area to tackle. So, like I say, photography is about being creative, so you can do as you wish. And it may not look like I'm doing anything right now, but like again, you're about to see the before and after of the dramatic effect of the highlights that can just really make your subject face and skin pop and stuff like that. Based off that, and it's supposed to be like more of like a little flash effect. So this is the after, and this is the before. This is the after, this is the before, and this is the after. Now, sometimes when you apply this effect and it's just like too strong, then you can always just bring down your opacity to something that's more settled. And I like to go all the way down and just bring it up slowly and find something that's like a little bit more settled. So this is like your before and your after, to just really make that subject pop a little bit like that. So yeah, and then I like to copy, merge the two together, and I keep the bottom layer. I always keep this layer right here. This one I could turn off, but this one is always the one that I just keep hanging around or whatever, in case I mess up and I can go back. I always make a copy of the new layer that I'm going to be working on again. This is how I do. But let's go back to Photoshop, aka Lightroom. And I'm sorry about the stream being so long. We're about to wrap it up real soon. Everyone, I appreciate the ones that did hang around in here. And I hope you learned something today, to be honest with you. So so we're gonna go mess with some of the color curves. Maybe the light. Maybe the light. So all right. So for dramatic effect, I'm gonna bring them up, bring them down, bring them up, bring them down, bring them up, bring them down. All right. We're not gonna be making no S today. I ain't really feeling that already. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click here. Sorry. Oh, and there's a cool little feature. Oh, you know what? Um, there is There is a like okay, so this feature right here, it's different in Lightroom, but you can still do it in Lightroom. It's pretty cool if you really don't know how to mess with this right here. It's really cool. So you just could click on here and then click the area that you actually want to adjust, literally. So there's going to be areas where it's going to say lights because it's going to let you know lights, then it's going to let you know shadows, and it's going to let you know darks. So it's going to let you know. So when you click it and you hold, you can go ahead and adjust that layer by itself completely, just like that. So you don't really have to go in here and adjust this right here. You can just click on it and pick the area. So this will adjust all the highlights. See that? So now you know that you can just go slowly and go up and down. It's just the easier way to do things. And if you want the shadows darker, boom, there's your shadows. So you can make them as dark as you want them to be. So I really diminished this photo. I ain't gonna lie. Trying to show you all this stuff. I spent less time really trying to edit the photo than actually editing the photo. But I promise you next time I'll be doing some editing. But it's like because I'm explaining things, I want to like actually no. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. Ooh, too late. I just messed that up. I won't even read it. We're gonna go back to Lightroom and I'm gonna wrap this up. All right. So let's get off of a person. real quick. All right, so we're gonna go grab another shot. So I'm out here shooting my pixel and stuff, and let's go. You guys would normally shoot. I should have got more like skylight shots or whatever, but let's just grab let's just shit, let me see what this looking like. It's a random shot that I just got at the last second. I just put my phone on the ground and just shot, but I don't know if I'm feeling that one. Let's go with the Justin Bieber. I like the wider shot. I like this shot right here for some reason. I don't know why I like this shot. All right, so let's go with the Lux. So we're gonna go down to Lux, and I'm gonna do like a speed rapid edit or whatever like that with this. So I'm gonna try to talk as fast as I can, but let's go find a LUT first. All right. I spend a lot of time making these LUTs, so I want to use these LUTs when I do my photos. I hate to not use these because I spend so much time using these. So we're gonna just go with this Army Strong look, and we're gonna start from this as a base right here. And where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Was it the Army Strong or was it Cappuccino? Oh, it was Cappuccino. It was Cappuccino. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead with my lights. We're gonna go ahead and knock all this out, pick my lights, and I feel like the sun is actually hitting from over here, but it might look better on this side. But let's just go ahead and make it first, and then we're gonna go ahead and see. We're gonna see what side looks better first. So, because you can always just move this. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the exposure of that a lot there. So yeah, I don't mind the sun hitting from this side, but I just got to make it more dramatic. So let's bring this down. There we go. Boom. Hit there. My shadows over here don't really need to be hit from over there. All right. So I am going to pick another one over here, and I'm going to bring this one down to the bottom half over here. And I'm going to bring it up. Again, I kind of showed you all this in the stream, so I'm going to speed through this and talk with you as I go through it really fast or whatever. So this one I'm probably gonna post on Twitter so you can see it when I'm done with it. Right after I'm done with it, we're gonna do this together as a team. So I'm gonna actually bring the shadows down on this part right here. Yeah, just there we go. So now the subject is popping like I wanted to. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get another gradient. I'm gonna go with the radical gradient. And I always say radical. I don't know why I say that. All right, so I wanted to hit right here. The light is going to hit right here and bring that up. There we go. Boom. And then we're going to go back and we're going to get another mask. It's all about masking. And we're going to select our subject. Normally, I will just select the object because I would paint inside the pixel itself so I can bring down a highlight slightly, but I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of do that right now using the subject because, like I said, I want you to be able to do what I do on your mobile phone because a lot of you actually take pictures and edit on your mobile phone. So I don't want to do anything extreme like I do on the Photoshop or anything like that. So I want to make sure that you're able to do it. So I'm just going to bring down the highlights on the subject itself a little bit. Boom. Now I'm satisfied with the subject. And I can bring in another color, which I might try to bring in another color real quick. Go back to my Lumion gradient. And I'm going to go ahead and make this on the color on this side kind of hit. Now, I'm going to test out the warms as well because I do still like to keep it kind of like, oh, look, it's golden hour type thing. But it just seems like, oh, he used a flash and he lit that up over there. No, I really didn't. Not today, not in this photo. So straight out of the camera. So we're just going to go with the golden look. Go ahead and golden that up a little bit. Yep. And I'm going to add a little bit more light here because I want to make sure that it looks like there's light coming all right here because it looks like it's just right there. And then I'm going to probably do a crop. I don't know. I feel like this is warping the distortion from this wide angle right here. And I was having issues with my pixel focusing when I used the telephoto. I don't know what was going on my telephoto today, but it was really tripping today where I was trying to tap on a subject and it just kept on going straight to the background and it was just irritating me. So I really don't know what was going on. So I'm going to bring this light up just a little bit here. There you go. That's what I want right there. A little bit sunlight. Pow. Pow. Right in the kisser. Pow. Right in the kisser. All right. And then I'm going to bring up the warmth just a little bit just to balance that out. And we're going to, now I could crop this or I could mess with the distortion. Uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the distortion first and then, mm, no, nah, nah, nah. I'm gonna see what the crop look like. I'm gonna see what the crop look like first, because I feel like if I cropped it, I'd be more satisfied. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm liking the crop. All right, and go ahead and enter. Yeah, I'm liking the crop a lot better. All right, but I'm just going to make sure this is straight. There we go, and boom. Okay, so yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. That's better. I knew it. I knew it. All right. So other than that, I will go ahead and finish this up by using my sharpening technique. Like I told you, my sharpening will be going up to 70 or 71 right now because I don't feel like going backwards. And I will go zoom in, make sure everything nice and clear. And then normally I will go ahead and get these, little knickknacks and stuff off the phones or the devices or, even my subject or whatever. So boom. Oh, God, it's just awfully slow in here. Awfully slow. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this part in Photoshop, not on this stream, because this is not cool. That's taking way too long. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this now or whatever, and I'll post this on Twitter and everything else in a few minutes, so you'll get to see this photo or whatever in full effect. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I appreciate everyone who did stick around for it. I know this was long and stuff like that, but next time I'll make sure that it's a lot of more precise and I'm just in here editing maybe some client photos or something like that, but or I could stick to the pixel photos. Anyways, everyone, I'll catch you in the next video. Delvon Digital out. Oh, I'm acting like this is a YouTube video, right? I actually got to hit the button. All right, everyone. I'll catch you in the next stream. I got to go give my daughter a bath.